everybody, welcome to Pushing Pixels. I am your host, Sam Mestas. Today, we're going to go back to the 80s. If I can find that guy. Where's that guy at? And we're going to have some fun. As soon as I can pull this up, we're going to make this today, right here. This guy, Cocktails and Dreams from the Tom Cruise 80s movie Cocktail. We're going to build that logo, and it's going to be crazy. It's a little bit weird, and let's get going. First things first, I have this brick pattern, and I'm going to turn it off. I don't need it right now. But most importantly, what I gave my students in class is a couple sets of paths. You can barely see them, but they are here. Let me stick a layer of white underneath just so you can see them. There they are. So you can see Cocktails and Dreams there in paths, and then I have a path of a circle that is kind of broken up. Let's manage the circle first. Go to Layers. I'm going to start a brand new layer called Circle, C-R-C-L-E. And with white as my foreground color, I'm going to hit X and set my color to white. I'm going to go to my brush tool, and I am going to pick a solid, generic old duck of a brush, just hard round brush, and I'm going to set it to 10 size. Perfect. So there's my brush, and let me see if I can paint in black. That's what my brush looks like right there. Back to white. Get rid of that white layer. We don't need it anymore. All right, so my brush is set to 10. I'm going to go back, and I got a new layer here called Circle. Go back to Paths, and I'm going to right-click and pick Stroke Path with the brush tool and turn off Simulate Pressure. I don't want it on, so there's a check there. Get rid of it, and click OK. And you can kind of see that I have a circle here now, a broken up circle. 10 pixels. Pretty good. Let's start a new layer again, brand new layer, and we're going to call this text. We're going to call it text 1, actually, because we're going to need to label them, and I'm going to relabel this circle 1 as well. All right, on the text layer, we're going to use almost the same brush. We're going to go up to 12 pixels this time, though, a little bit larger. And on our text 1 layer that we just made, we're going to go to the words. You can barely see them, but they're there. And we're going to right-click and stroke those as well. Same deal, Cocktails and Dreams. All right, we're done with our paths. We don't need them anymore. I'm going to turn off the text for now because we're just going to work on the circle itself. All right. So we need to add a couple things. We need to add neon. We're building neon tubes, so neon works 3 ways. There's a base color. There's sort of a specular highlight, and then there's an outright full-blown specular highlight. So we need 3 layers. So first layer, though, let's get the color adding so we can see what it looks like. So for the color for this, double-click that circle layer, and we're going to add an inner glow. Inner glow, and the color we are going to use for inner glow is for the circle, we are going to use, I'm going to click on the color swatch there, 0, 150, and 255 for the RGB. That's sort of blue. That's inner glow. Set your opacity to 100, set it to normal, and we're going to go with 0 for choke, 10 for size, and 50 for range, and get the jitter down to nothing, so you can kind of see what's happening there, and you can already sort of see what's happening on the circle as well. All right, so that's for inner glow. For the circle outer glow, let's turn that on, and we're going to pick something a little bit different for colors. We're going to use, go back to our RGB here, 2275 for green and 145 for blue. It's a little bit darker. All right, and you can see the colors already starting to pop a little bit. And then for outer glow settings, we're going to use 100 again, 8, 16, and 50. Although I may bump the size up just a little bit from 8. How about if we use something like 29, 30? Give it a little bit more glow. You can kind of see what's happening there, just like that. It's looking pretty good. All right, now we need to add 2 more circles to our, or 2 more layers to our circle to sort of bring out the whites a little bit more. So new layer above circle, and we're going to call it circle 2. And on this layer, we're going to use our brush again, except this time we are going to use size, we're going to go down to like size 7. It's going to be a lot smaller. You can sort of see a little bit. And on circle 2, we're going to go back to paths, and on the circle path, we're going to stroke it again. And there, so we sort of get our little white highlight. Back to the layers, one more circle layer, new layer, circle 3, C-I-R-C-L-E 3. Brush size is going to go down now a little bit more. I'm going to say 4. Pretty tiny. All right, maybe 5. How about 5? Let's see what 5 looks like. 5's good. All right, on that circle 3 layer, back to paths, right click and stroke that final one. Awesome. Now it's going to be hard to see because we need to play with some of the opacity a bit. I'm going to turn off the path there. Okay, I'm going to group these 3 for starters. Command G, put them in a group. Call that group circle, C-R-C-L-E. All right, just so I can keep track of everything. All right, I'm going to get rid of that text layer because we're going to redo that again. All right, so I have 3 circles. I have my base, I have my specular highlight there, and then I also have my final highlight there, which might be a little bit big. I'm going to do my final highlight again. I think it's still too big, C-I-R-C-L-E 3. And go back to paths, that brush 5. I'm going to say 3, maybe 4. Let's try 4. Stroke the path. Let's go back to layers and take a look. Turn that guy off real quick. Layer. There we go. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so there's the full specular. There's the final one. Okay, so on these 2 final circles, the 3 and the 2, we're going to blur those by 1 pixel. So go to each layer, go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, 1 full pixel. Same thing with the other one. It's already going to be right there. Perfect. On the circle 2, I'm actually going to turn it down quite a bit. I'm going to say turn it down to 50 opacity there, and that sort of helps things out. It softens things. You can tell now it's a little bit softer, the blue shining through, and then there's my final specular highlight of the top one. There you go. That's our circle neon. I'm going to collapse that. We don't need it anymore. I dumped the text. I want to redo my text. So if you already did that text layer like we did, go ahead and throw it in the trash. We're going to do it a little bit differently. New layer again. Now this will be our text 1 layer. Throw your old one away. And we're actually going to use a color on the text layer this time. And the color is, we need to reset the color. Go over here to your color swatch, foreground color. And the color, it's going to be sort of a rose almost, 158.0. You can see it's turning purple. 0.93. And that's the color we're looking for, this guy right here. Sort of dark rose, magenta-ish. All right, not too bad. All right, now set our brush back. And we're going to size up to, let's say 13. How about that? Let's try 13. All right, so on our text layer, go back to paths, right-click on the words path that's got all the words on it, and stroke it with our 13 brush. There you go. That's a lot better. Perfect. Now we're going to do the same thing again. We need to make a new layer again. We're going to call it text 2, right? Foreground color to white, so press D will reset your colors, and X will make white your foreground color. Okay, we got a downsized brush again, so let's go to 7 now. We're using white on our text 2 layer. Back to paths, stroke the text 1 more time. There you go, there's that one. Back to layers, 3rd stroke, text 3, we're going to put a new layer. Text 3 is our new layer. Set our brush to 4. All right, text 3 layer, stroke the path, that word's path 1 more time. There we go. Now we're all caught up here. Okay, save your text now. I'm going to turn that off. Let me get rid of the path. I don't need that anymore. So we have our text, and then we have our specular highlight there, and then we have our full highlight there. Okay, so turn those on. Again, we're going to Gaussian blur both those, text 3 and text 2. Filter, Gaussian blur, because it was already set. Filter, Gaussian blur. It's only 1 pixel. Not bad. And on text 2, we're going to do it just like we did the circle. We're going to bring the opacity down to about 50 and soften it up a little bit. All right, not too bad. Okay, so I'm going to turn those off for a second because we do have to put the inner glow and the outer glow on this layer right here. We still have to put inner glow and outer glow on that layer. So let's do that. Double click that layer, your text 1 layer. All right, and let's see the color for, let's do inner glow first since it's up towards the top there. And the color is going to be 154, 31, 88. That is the inner glow. It's a little bit darker. And the settings are going to be 100, 0 for choke, 10 for size, 100 for opacity, and 50 again for range, almost like the other one, jitter down to nothing. Blend mode set to normal, no big deal there. I think I can zoom in on this now, right? Is it control? Command? I don't remember. How did I do that? There we go. Yeah, I can do that guy right there. There we go. 100, 0, 10, 50. That's what we're looking for. That's a nice little feature. How far down can I go? I guess that far. All right, let's go to outer glow. What's the color for outer glow going to be? It's going to be... Did I give you the wrong color for inner glow? I think I did. Let's go back to inner glow. Wrong color. No, I give you that right. No, I gave it to you wrong. I lied. Here we go. It's 255. 170. Man, I'm really phoning this in. 204. There you go. Yeah, soft pink. That'll be the inner glow a little bit. All right, now we can go to outer glow. This one is the other one. 154, 31, 88. That'll be a little bit darker. There you go. And now you can sort of see what's happening here, and you can sort of see what's happening right there. The outer glow settings are going to be 100, 9, let's do 9, and 29, and 50 for that guy. So if I zoom in there a little bit, you can see those settings. 100 for opacity, 9, 29, and 50. There you go. That's pretty much it. Although 29 looks really heavy. I might be more tempted to go with 20. But either or, they'll get you there. Adjust a taste is what I say. And turn on my final. There we go. There's our final look to that. Let's group those 3 layers now. Now that we've got them set. Group, Command G. We'll call that text. Awesome. I'm going to turn on my circle. Looking pretty cool already. All right, we're done mostly with our model. Now we got to do is just do a little dress up on it. I have this fake lighting system I put here. This black. It looks kind of like there's a window up here somewhere, and maybe it's shining in the building or something like that. Let's build that. But before we do that, I want to do one more quick thing. Put a layer under circle, a blank layer, right? That's going to be called shadows, S-H-A-D-O-W-S. We're going to put our shadows there. Make sure your foreground color is black. You can hit X and alternate to make sure. If your colors are different, D to reset them, X back and forth. So X to my black is the foreground color. On my new layer here, and we need to pick a brush, and I say we go all the way up to 15. Size 15 brush on our new layer shadows. Go to the paths. We're going to make our shadows here. So let's go to the words, right click, stroke it. You can't see it because it's hidden. Do the circle, same thing, circle, stroke the circle as well. Awesome. Now you have your shadows. It's hard to see because they're behind everything, but if I move them with my move tool, you can see the shadows, that being my move tool right there. So I'm going to move them down and to the right a little bit, all right? Not too bad. And we got to blur them. So let's do a Gaussian blur, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. I don't remember what we used. 10 is way too much. How about 4? 5. How about 5? 4 or 5 should work. Not too bad. And I'm going to turn the opacity down on this layer just a little bit. Maybe take it to 90. Soften it up just a little bit. All right. I want 2 shadows. I want one that's also up here. So just hypothetically pretend there is like a candle or a table light here sort of lighting up, and I want to create just another soft shadow. So I'm actually just going to duplicate that layer, Command J, and slide it up here a little bit, and I'm going to turn the opacity down to something really low, like maybe 35. You can almost not see it. It's barely there, but it gives it a little bit more space and a little bit more volume, so not too bad. All right, I'm going to group the shadows, Command J or Command G, SHADOWS. Keep our project organized. All right, so let's make that lighting system here. So new blank layer underneath your shadows, and we'll call that window light. And I'm going to fill it with black. Since black is my foreground color, Alt Delete will fill that up for me. Or if you wanted to, you can go Shift Delete and hit the pull down and hit black, however you want to do it. Or you can go to Edit, Fill, same thing, fill with black. All right, so it's full with black now. So let's create that sort of window thing. I'm going to use the lasso polygonal tool, that guy right there. And I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to make sort of a wide swath here, and I'm off the canvas completely. And then say there, and then sort of come back. It's kind of like a weirdo tie. All right, so I have my selection set, right? And if I hit my mask, it will create my light. It'll invert it though. My mask is inverted, so we need to invert the mask. It made a black beam. I need these two sides to be black, not the middle. So I'm going to invert the mask. So make sure you have brackets around. Make sure there's brackets around the guy right there. Okay, that's an option tool. And then Alt-I will invert it, or I'm sorry, Command-I will invert it. And there you go. Make sure your mask is still selected, because we're going to blur that. Filter, Gaussian blur, and I don't remember what I used. 5, did we use 10? 10, I'll use 10 for now, and blur my mask. I'm not blurring the black, I'm blurring the mask. All right, there's my light, and I'm just going to turn down the opacity just a little bit, maybe to 75-ish. That's not too bad. Pretty cool. All right, couple last things we have to do. New layer on top, and we're going to call this a red glow, because we're going to help this neon shine a little bit brighter. All right, and what I'm going to do is go to my brush tool. Let me zoom in a little bit. And with my brush tool, I could theoretically paint, but I'm going to hold down my Alt key, and I'm going to take a sample of this color right here, because I want to paint with that color. I'm going to zoom back out. Oops, a little bit too far. Maybe not too far. Let's try that. All right, so with that color now selected, right, and a brush, I'm actually going to pick a soft edge brush. Go to your brushes, soft round. All right, pick a soft round brush and kind of make it big. I'm going to bracket up here. I'm going to make it at least as big as my words. All right. So I got my color picked. I got my brush picked. I am going to set this layer to screen. My red glow layer. Set that layer to screen. And I'm going to just stroke across my text, and it helps bring out all that neon glow. You could theoretically also, I'm going to undo that. You could set the brush to screen if you wanted to. If you wanted to leave the layer to normal, you could theoretically set the brush to screen, and the brush will paint in a screen format, although not half as cool as the layer itself. So let's definitely do it screen on the layer. And I'm going to drag across there. I'm going to drag across there. And I'm going to try it one more time. That brush is a little bit large. There we go. Cocktails and Dreams, Cocktails and Dreams. And maybe shrink it for that guy, right? Let's do a new layer now. Blue. Blue glow. B-L-U-E-G-L-O-W. Blue glow. That isn't how you spell blue. B-L-U-E-G-L-O-W. Let's pick, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here on the blue, and pick sort of this blue right here. I'm in my brush tool. Holding down Alt, click. Maybe that glow. Let's try that one. See if that works. Again, turn the layer to screen. All right. Same sort of brush, and I'm just going to stroke the blue area right there and get that happening. Pretty slick, right? Let me bring down the opacity just a little bit. Get that there. Get that there. Don't feel like I got that as much. All right. There you go. I'm going to turn this down to just a little bit. It's a little bit hot. All right. Cocktails and Dreams. Ooh, let's put a lens flare on there real quick. Why not? We came this far. Brush. Let's find a lens flare. I'm sure I have 1,000 of them. I don't want that lens flare. Let's see if that one works. Oh, I got to go to Y, set my color. That one's not really doing anything for me. There's one. I'll take this guy. How's that? Oh, perfect. It's a little bit big though, so let's scale it down a little bit. I'm going to scale it a lot down. There you go. Perfect. Cocktails and Dreams, everybody. That is it. I hope you had a good time. Talk to you soon. Have a good day.